USAA, an official insurance sponsor of the NFL, presents the USAA Insurance Halftime.
Welcome to the USAA Insurance Halftime. Here with Booger McFarland, Hall of Famer Randy Moss. I'm Susie Culver. Lamar Jackson's offensive coaches preached to him all week. Use the tools God gave you. You be you. And we saw what it looks like when he does.
Well, him being him is dynamic. You know, early on, the Titans did a really good job of keeping Lamar in the pocket, making him throw the football. But boy, did Lamar say, you know what? I'll show you I'm going to get loose. Here, Lamar Jackson drops back. There's nothing open. But watch how fast he goes from zero to I'll holler, Susie, for a touchdown. Missed tackles by the Tennessee Titans. And that's the spark that got the Ravens going. But this is how you do it. Watch the defensive end. Landry get upfield. He comes back downhill and retraces his track. If you're the Titans and you're Vrabel, you go in halftime, it's really simple. We cannot allow Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews cannot beat us. I think he feels pretty good if those two guys don't beat him.
You know, when you look at the beginning of the game, how the Tennessee Titans came out, Baltimore Ravens were behind. First thing you start thinking, can the Ravens come back from behind? But when you see, like you just said, Boog, Lamar Jackson being able to be shot out of a cannon, but here, let me switch it up to the defensive side for the Baltimore Ravens. Coming out at the beginning of the game, playing single coverage, but as you can see, Wink Martindale was able to switch it up in some zone coverage later in the first half. Right here, the touchdown to A.J. Brown right there. I don't care what y'all say, offensive pass interference, whatnot. It's playoff football, Boog. Let them play. Touchdown. It's 10-10. We got a tie to half. I can't wait for the second half.
Hey, Titans have some of the toughest red zone and play action offense in football. All right, looking forward to the second half. How about the second game of the day? Bears at Saints. Khalil Mack and company coming for Drew Brees in what is likely his final postseason run. Alvin Kamara, who was on the COVID list, practiced virtually all week from his house. Today, he is eligible to return. He is active. Randy, the Bears, huge underdogs. How might they pull off the upset?
Man, right here, Susie, number 52. I remember this team was called the Monsters of the Midway. Well, guess what, Khalil Mack? New Orleans, you're going down to New Orleans. The team needs you in Chicago. They're being able to defeat a single stunt, being able to defeat a double team right there. Khalil Mack is going to have a hell of a day going into New Orleans to play this Drew Brees-led offense. He has to have some sacks and get after Drew Brees in order for the Bears to have a chance.
All right, and how about the wild card weekend finale? The Browns back in the postseason for the first time in 18 years, but because of COVID issues, they barely practice, down a number of key players. They are in Pittsburgh without their head coach, Kevin Stefanski, who is also their play caller. QB coach Alex Van Pelt will call plays, and I wondered if Stefanski would deliver some sort of virtual pregame speech, but no, that's on special teams coordinator Mike Prefer as acting head coach. Boog, he's also going to make all those critical decisions on the sidelines. How do they pull this off?
Well, first of all, he's got to make those decisions with his gut. Every coach coaches with his gut, and so he does that. Now they'll be fine. If you're the Browns, though, here's the way you beat Pittsburgh. Do what you do best. Run the football and make Pittsburgh throw the football over your head. Do what Cincinnati did on Monday night. Sit on the short route. They don't run the football. The offensive line is soft, and see if Ben Roethlisberger can beat you throwing the ball down the field.
And Stefanski will be watching from his couch.
On a 60-inch TV with a remote.
A best three-day stretch of football continues tomorrow. When we come back, we'll take you to Miami for a preview of the CFP National Championship.
You're watching the USAA Insurance Halftime. Insurance made for the military community. USAA, an official insurance sponsor of the NFL.
Super Wildcard Weekend continues later today on CBS, Nickelodeon, and Prime Video, then concludes tonight on NBC and Peacock. Stream games on mobile with the Yahoo Sports and NFL apps.
Welcome back to the USAA Insurance Halftime.
Raiders president Al Davis and NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle are bitter enemies.
The Raiders are suing the NFL.
Al Davis will do anything to beat you.
Just win, baby.
30 for 30, Al Davis versus the NFL premieres February 4th on ESPN. In Nashville, 10-10 game at the half, and right now, Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit from Miami Gardens, Florida.
Thank you, Susie. The showdown in South Florida, the finish line for college football 2020, Alabama and Ohio State. Here in Hard Rock Stadium. We'll see a couple of guys who expect to star on Sundays, Kirk. And let's talk about Devontae Smith and Justin Fields. Ohio State's quarterback managing the pain of that midsection while trying to handle the mental part and carry the burden of all he does for the offense against a great defense.
And he's coming off his best game of his career in the way he played against Clemson, the guts that he showed, and ended up with 6 touchdown passes. But you're right, he's the X factor. Not just his ability to make throws and make decisions against a very complex Alabama defense, but he's going to have to use his legs to be able to open up opportunities like that to Chris Olave downfield. Where will he be? We'll keep a very close eye on that early in this game. And then Devontae Smith, he won the Heisman on the show you had it earlier this week. To me, he has been maybe the most humble superstar I've ever encountered, and is one of the hardest working players on this team. For Ohio State, it's where do you start? Where do you load up to stop Najee Harris? Do you worry about the explosive pass game? It'll be up to Mac Jones from Alabama to make quick decisions to put Alabama in a place where they can put those big points on the board.
For opponents, scheme, his speed, his route running, nobody's slowed down Devontae Smith. So who will be the last team standing when the confetti drops? Buckeyes and the Crimson Tide, 8 o'clock Eastern Monday on ESPN.
Can't wait, guys. And in Nashville, Ryan Tannehill put it up, and A.J. Brown brought it down. Tie game. Who will finish? Third quarter coming.
USAA, an official insurance sponsor of the NFL, thanks you for watching the USAA Insurance Halftime.